Hey guys, Daniel Bates here, and today I would like to talk to you about plagiarism. You know, a common theme that I hear when I'm talking with new agents, teaching them the real estate blogging world, is this fear of having someone else come along and steal their material and benefit from the fruits of their labor. And so I want to share with you a couple of tools that you can use to combat plagiarism, actually how you can promote your work and have it shared in a way that benefits you, and also what to do if you find that your material is plagiarized. So the first site I'd like to show you is copyscape.com. Copyscape has kind of become synonymous with plagiarism, and they've got some great material on there. They do offer a premium service, and so basically the free service you can have though is if you go to copyscape.com, you enter your URL, do a search, and basically they're going to show you top 10 results from your website that they believe are instances of plagiarism. And so if you want more, basically you got to pay them the bucks to subscribe to that service. I don't know the costs, but you can explore that as you wish. One of the neat things that they do have though is this these banners that you can add to your website. And so even if you don't subscribe to your site, you can add one of these neat little buttons to your sidebar or your footer. And it's, maybe it's just like, putting up an alarm system sign on your house even though you don't have an alarm. It just might do a little bit of deterring. But basically all you do is you choose the banner that you want. You'd select this text, right click copy, and then you would just paste that into a blank text widget for your sidebar or for your footer, wherever you wanted to put that. If you need any help with that, you can certainly contact Molly at realestatetomato.com. But the new tool that I found is actually called FairShare, and as you can see, it's at fairshare.cc. What this allows is for you to actually enter in your feed for your website, and if you're using WordPress, your feed's real easy. It's just your URL and then the word and then /FEED, feed. So you can see I've already added a couple of feeds for my site, but you just simply enter that, click next, and it is going to provide you with a feed that you can subscribe to. And so I've already subscribed to one of them in iGoogle, and if I click right here, I'll show you what it actually looks like. It's really cool. It has the website that they believe is stealing your material, and then it actually gives you some data about it: the post that's used, the percent of the article, the number of words copied, whether or not there's a link, whether there's ads present on the site, because this is specifically targeting scrapers, which are these sites that are set up to just steal your material, throw it up there, throw some ads around it, and hopefully generate some revenue off of your hard work that you've done. And so this is actually a little clouded because I have here a guest post done by asbestos.com, and a lot of the wording is common, and so this post specifically is showing up. But here I see a post here that I wrote a while ago, and it's on Zimbio.com. I actually happen to know that Zimbio.com is a site that I permit to use my material, and as you can see, it will provide me a link coming back to my site. So I'm not really concerned with that. It looks like they just took a portion of the posts that I provided them. This one does kind of raise some flags though. It says current.com, which I'm not familiar with. It's a post that I wrote about a school closing, and it's 98%. That falls a little bit beyond what I would call a coincidence of my work being copied here. As you can see, it does say ads are present and there's no link. So I'd like to go take a look at that site. I just simply click on the link here. And what's neat is it actually allows you to jump straight to the content. As you can see, all the content's highlighted. That means they pretty much stole the entire thing. Looking at the site, it looks like they've got some ads up, stuff like that. And I know that I didn't allow them to add the content because it says right here who added it. If this is the kind of thing that concerns you, then you can certainly try to combat it and follow the steps provided. I do see here that there's a link to my article, but if I right click and click properties, I can see here that the relationship is a no follow. So in the eyes of Google, I am not getting any credit for that link, and they're just trying to, basically steal this content and create some revenue, or create just more content for their users. And again, this isn't something that concerns me, but if it does concern you, then I would take the steps necessary to stop it. And I do have a post here to recommend on what you can do to stop that plagiarism. Basically, it's at problogger.net. You can do a search for this title, what to do when someone steals your blog content. They give credit to Copyscape again for the material here, but they basically elaborated on the steps to take, and it's very well written. I think to note is that the very last step is legal action. You can certainly threaten legal action, and that's the steps that I always take. Is this cease and desist order. But in the end, we want to sell real estate, not spend our days in the courtrooms battling people because they've stolen our material. Finally, I'd like to show you one thing that you might not be familiar with. Creative Commons, and this is at creativecommons.org. You can see here that it's a non-profit organization set up to increase sharing and improve collaboration. Basically, what Creative Commons is doing, and you might be familiar with it through its Flickr project, is that it is trying to allow people who want to share their work under certain conditions a good way, a universal way to share that information. And so what you do is you'd click here on licenses, and it is actually going to ask you a series of questions about your website, whether or not you want to allow commercial use. And if you have questions about that, there's information here. Basically, you fill this form out, select a license, and it's going to provide you with a couple of buttons to choose from and a series of code that you can add to your website. And when if they see a post, another fellow blogger might see a post that you've written, and they want to share it, but they do want to give you credit for it. Basically, they can click this, find out what conditions you allow people to use your content without having to contact you and wait for a response, and then actually see how you want the content linked to. And so basically, you can control that with what you add in these sections and tweak it how you want. You may want to change your attribute work to some keywords like McClellanville real estate. Even though it's hokey, if that will help you out in the search engines if they link to that resource rather than your name. But again, Creative Commons is a great way to generate a widget on your website that will actually let people know that you do allow property of yours to be used under the following conditions, and you just lay out those conditions for them. So I hope that answers some of your questions. Again, for any plagiarism questions, you can either Google plagiarism or refer to problogger.net and what to do when someone steals your blog. Again, copyscape.com is also a great resource to use if you want to defend your site against plagiarism. That's all I've got for you now. Again, if you have any questions specifically about how to add features to your blog, you can contact Molly at realestatetomato.com. Thank you.